Welcome to the lineup, everybody. I am Joshua Adams. To my left is Jeffrey Matthews. We have a new face on the set today as Noah Eastland joins us for the first time. As always, we will start the show with Quick Pitch to get you the latest Austin Peay baseball and softball news. Then we extend Quick Pitch to include the entire world of baseball, as for some reason Aaron Judge got in trouble for saying something completely innocent to Manny Machado. And the new minor league extra innings rule has received universal animosity from me. And the Astros are coming in confident this year, with the team saying they're even better this season, and that's your favorite team, so we'll see what you think about that. And they don't believe they'll have a World Series hangover as the Cubs did last year. One of the reasons the Astros are so good is their pitching staff, so we'll also discuss the best staff in the big leagues. And finally, a little mini interview getting to know Noah over there. And now to Jeff with Quick Pitch.
All right, so to start off with softball. Softball team, we talked about it last week. They're on one of the greatest starts that they've had in many of their seasons. They have extended that to 15-8 overall. Unfortunately, today, their 2 games versus Lipscomb were canceled. I'm sure that was because of the rain from last night that we got. And then coming up on Friday versus Moorhead, we're going to go ahead and start doing OVC play. So softball's going, and they're trucking, and I think it's gonna get super interesting here soon.
Yeah, and they actually made the SportsCenter top 10 the other day.
They did.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Cool. I'm sorry to say I don't remember which player it was, but it was a pop-up.
It was the third baseman.
Yeah.
Drove in and dove for the
dove for a popped-up.
Yeah,
it was great. It was a big series this past weekend for Austin Peay baseball as Murray State came into town for the Battle of the Border. Austin Peay was in control the entire time as they swept the series, winning 10-2. 8-7 and 19-7. In Friday's game, Imani Willis contributed big time with 5 RBIs and a grand slam. Saturday was a team effort as strong pitching and timely hitting led to a Governor's victory. On Sunday, 5 different players had 2 or more RBIs, so it was a real team effort that day. Most notably, the shortstop Garrett Kieber had 6, which included a grand slam. Yesterday, the Govs dropped yet another high-scoring game as the Bats of Kansas State couldn't be tamed. They're actually playing another game right now, and it is in the top of the 9th, tied 2-2. So we'll keep an eye on that, and once the score becomes final, we will update y'all. What the heck was that? Update y'all. Okay. First off today, we have Aaron Judge. He told Manny Machado that he would look good in pinstripes during a spring training game, and for some reason, he got reprimanded by the higher-ups at Major League Baseball, and frankly, I mean, it's just silly, and I'll go to you first with it.
I mean, I personally am totally against this. I like fashion myself. Jeff, you look wonderful on the checkered. You look wonderful on the plaid. And I think it was just a compliment towards the pinstripes. I think Machado would look good in pinstripes myself. I think he'd be wonderful with the Yankees, though, and I, as an Astros fan...
Unrelated to the pinstripes.
Unrelated to the pinstripes. Yeah. I think that as an Astros fan, I don't want him there. I am scared of the Yankees now, and I do not want him there to begin with. Mm-hmm. So, Jeffrey, what do you think? Yeah.
I thought the whole thing was just really funny for me when I was reading on it. I mean, I thought it was that he actually had to have the manager come up and talk, had to have a legitimate conversation with him about how you can't have a little joking pass to pass. Like, it was as if me and you were passing, and let's say I was on a different show or whatever. I was like, hey, you look good on my show. And then, like, I got in trouble for that. Like, it was just, I just thought it was really silly. And I think the league overreacted to it.
Yeah, I mean, you know that happens every single game.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you see the first baseman talking to every single person that gets to first base. You see the middle infielders talking with someone on second. And, well, not really as much when it's on third for some reason. You don't see that as much. But, I mean, you see people talking to the catchers, asking, you know, was that a changeup? Was that a slider? You know, they ask stuff like that. So, I mean, this is just a part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, good players wants to play with good players. I mean, that's all there is to it. And if talking to the players is something that needs to be guilty for, then that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Bryant and I almost said Manny Machado, but Bryce Harper, they're friends. Their wives are friends. They've been hanging out. They played like Pictionary or something and Snapchatted.
Wonderful game.
I mean, are you just going to ban players from being friends with each other? It's just kind of. It just doesn't really make sense to do that. There is technically a rule, I believe, in the rule book preventing players from fraternizing with each other. but it's because of the Black Sox scandal.
Okay.
But it's no one ever enforces it, and the fact that they did with this, I think it's because there was so many rumors of Machado going to the Yankees, and MLB Network actually wrote out, it was pretty funny, wrote out a lineup for the Yankees, and they had Machado batting 5th and said currently on Orioles. I mean, they were so sure that he was going to be traded to the Yankees that they put currently on Orioles and put him in the lineup, and then they went and got Giancarlo Stanton, and they were like, whoops. But I mean, the Yankees are going to be big spenders this next offseason, so that's probably part of the reason that they're worried about tampering.
Right.
Because they're going to be spending on Harper, they're going to be spending on Machado. Clayton Kershaw is probably going to use his opt-out because he's the most valuable pitcher in baseball, so he's going to be looking to get more money. But he's staying with the Dodgers. He's staying with the Dodgers his whole career.
Yeah. Well, my question is if Freddie Freeman says, "Hey, you would look good with the tomahawk," okay, is this a problem?
No, absolutely.
Because they're a losing team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Yankees have always been a dominant team. They've been a dominant team since.
I think the last time they had a losing season was 1992.
Exactly. Around the time when Atlanta and the Yankees were kind of the dominant teams. Atlanta went on a run with the World Series a couple times. The Yankees went on a run with the World Series a few times, and the Yankees have just always been the Yankees. Yeah. It's always been the pinstripes. Like I said, this is literally just a silly thing that had to get brought up and blown way out of proportion. Yeah, and maybe it was just Judge being a cool, joking around friend. You would look good in pinstripes.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, legitimate, hey, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, Machado had a quote about it. This is from Orioles third baseman Manny Machado. Everyone always jokes around about a lot of things, and things that we say on the field usually stay on the field. I've told a lot of guys that they'd look good in black and orange as well. Trying to get guys over here, it's just a part of the game. You want to put the best team out there on your field, and I'm a part of this team. I want to bring the best guys over here as much as I can. I want to get a ring as well, which at this rate it seems like he's more likely to get a ring with the Yankees. But he's just saying that this is what happens. You talk on the field or on the court. In basketball, on the field, wherever, whatever sport it is, the players talk. Players are friends. That's just what they do. I mean, at the All-Star game, you see him joking around all the time. I can't remember who I was talking with, but he was saying how Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge were joking around during the home run derby. I mean, that's just what it is. It's just the nature of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we've discussed how the pace of baseball a lot, and you got to pass the time. It's just that's what it is.
You have 9 innings, and sometimes 1 through 7 can be really long with not a whole lot of action. And some of these guys have been in the league for a while. They get to know these players. They play against these players multiple times. You're not going to sit there and not hang out with them. I mean, you have something huge in common. You both are in the majors.
Yeah, it's like being in a department and you're someone's in finance and someone's in marketing. You say you would do a good job in marketing with us, and then someone's saying, "Oh, that's not cool. You can't say that." It's just kind of silly. So moving on from the Grapefruit League to the Cactus League, and one of the biggest stories, Shohei Ohtani, the biggest free agent of the offseason, pretty much. I mean, he was an international free agent, so you might count that, you might not. But he's a two-way player, one of the best hitters in the Japanese league, and the best pitcher in the Japanese league. And in 2 2/3 innings pitched in spring training, he has an astounding 27 ERA, but that's 2 2/3 innings, so it doesn't really mean that much. But 8 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings, 3 home runs, only 5 strikeouts. And on the when he's batting, he's 3 for 28, which is a 107 batting average, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, and only a single RBI. There's arguments that he's just not going to make it. He's already a bust, but he's had 28 at bats. He's had 2 2/3 innings pitched. Give him a chance. I mean, that's how I look at it. What do you think, Noah?
I personally disagree with you.
Okay.
I think that when you're a dud, you're a dud. I think it's simple as that. The guy he's pitching like he's a batter and batting like he's a pitcher. And I mean, it just doesn't lie. I think the league has just became so obsessed with getting overseas people. And, I mean, they just want to have somebody foreign on their team. They just want to have somebody that isn't from America and to bolster or to find a hidden gem.
To spread the game around
exactly.
the world a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But not only talking about his stats going in, I mean, you discussed for the show, Ohtani has a little bit of some health issues. Right now they're talking about his elbow, and then the previous season they talked about how he missed most of the 2017 season due to an ankle. Yeah, he hurt his ankle. And I think a lot of this, okay, so for one, I'm going to go ahead and say Ohtani definitely, I think, has a lot of nerves. Yeah. He's coming into the Major League Baseball league. A lot of eyes are on him.
Yeah.
He's the star right now. Everyone's looking at him, and then hurts his elbow. It's just a first-degree sprain, is what I've read. So it shouldn't be too big of a deal. But then he also has the ankle injury he has to look after now. So going forward, he has a couple of things he's going to have to get over, and I think once he gets into the league and once he starts really working, I think his athleticism and his abilities are really going to start showing.
I cannot quote it specifically or cite it specifically. I saw a tweet from some scout that said that he almost looks like a high school batter. I can't say whether I can't confirm that or not, but I remember seeing that, and then when I went back to try and find it, I never found it. But you really think that he's already a bust after 2 2/3 innings?
Yeah, I mean,
pitched.
It didn't pass the vision test for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that we're just become so obsessed with getting that foreign person. So I just think that I hope he becomes something. Of course, I hope the best for him, but I just don't see it.
According to Pedro Gomez of ESPN, one scout said he actually should start the season in A-ball, so who knows. But you were saying that he's probably going to start DH.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes. The Houston Astros say they're even better than last year, and we pick the top pitching rotation in baseball after this.
Are you prepared for life outside of college?
Probably not yet.
Austin Peay's Career Services is there to help you transition to post-grad life.
I've had some friends use Career Services, but I've never used it myself.
Whether you need assistance finding a major or preparing for your future career, this free service has all of the tools to guide you.
We try to equip students and alumni with the tools that they need to go through that job searching process.
They built their resume, and it gave like complete relief off of me because I was able to walk out of there and be confident in my next interview.
The entire reason of going to college is so that you can actually get a job. So those resources that are available to you in Career Services are second to none on campus. It's the best place to go to.
Stop by room 210 in the Morgan University Center or visit www.apsu.edu/careers. Take the first step into your future today.
Welcome back to the lineup. I'm Joshua Adams, Jeffrey Matthews, Noah Eastland. The Houston Astros are coming in confident for the 2018 season. It seems the team may have even gotten better after the World Series victory, adding Garrett Cole, Hector Rondon, and Joe Smith. Noah, do you really think you could see a repeat out of your team this season?
Absolutely, I do. I mean, just reading the lineup: Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa, Gurriel, Reddick, Gaddis, Gonzalez, McCann. Where is the weak spot? Where? Please tell me. You've got guys like Derek Fisher, Tony Kemp, and Marisnik on the bench. I mean, this team is destined, I think, to repeat. I mean, I think it's inevitable.
It has become a lot harder in sports to repeat in these big, huge championships like the Super Bowl, the World Series, the World Cup. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I think. Okay, so we did talk about how the Astros, Kuchel was talking about. How he said, not the Cubs, even better this year.
Yeah.
Then he went on and he was like, I firmly believe we have better players. My biggest fear for them is I think they're going to get too ahead of themselves and they might not even make it. I will even go as far as saying that they will not make the World Series.
Okay. So do you think championship or division series?
I think they'll go to division series.
Really? You think they'll go out first round?
I think you're very confused. That's what I think.
I'm telling you right now.
I know my team, and Last year we had a funeral for a glove. Okay,
Whose glove was that?
It was
Gaddis?
Gaddis's glove. Yep, because I mean we're a family. I know that sounds cliche, but I am a member too. Yes, we are a family. I mean, from Jeff Lunhout down. And, you know, it's so close-knit and so family-like. I mean, you remember at the end of the World Series talking about between Verlander and Altuve, the I love yous, and how that became so big. Mm-hmm. This is a close-knit group. Yeah. And I don't think we're going to get ahead of ourselves because we haven't done it before. We remember the last row of seasons. So
you can look at them being a young team, but they also, as a younger team than they are this year, they won the World Series last year. And it was probably the first World Series in a few years that the two best teams actually made the World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in 2016 that the Cubs and the Indians were probably the best. But, I mean, the baseball playoffs are just so random. I mean, you play 162 games and then your life is decided by 7. So, I mean, just up and down, you're right, you can't find a weakness. I mean, their projected lineup is Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa, Gurriel, who I still have a problem with because of that whole Darvish incident. Reddick, Gaddis, Gonzalez, McCann. I mean, gracious, in that rotation of Verlander, Keuchel, Cole, McCullers, and Morton.
Hard to beat.
Yeah, and all these are projected, so they might be different orders or something. And that bullpen looks amazing as well. Is Rondon going to make the team?
I don't think so.
Really?
And I think that shows how good our team is. Yeah. I mean, I think that's simple as that. And I mean, I love this lineup too. It's just you can't name a weak spot on this team, and I think that's what's going to project us to the World Series.
Just hope they don't lose focus. And I think
Never will.
You think they're going to buy their own press too much and then kind of implode a little bit?
I think so.
I mean, baseball.
You don't. With every sport, if you get too ahead of yourself, you're going to start playing, and then you're going to do something that's not good, and it's just bad play. You get an error or whatever. Next thing you know, you can't get over that, and then you start playing even worse.
Because you're thinking, what's going on? We're the Astros.
Exactly.
And I think that's kind of what happened to the Cubs in 2017 is because they were so good in 2016 and, had God on their side with the rain and everything. I mean, they were exhausted from that offseason because you lose a whole month with the playoffs and the World Series. So I do think, honestly, I just get a feeling that the World Series hangover isn't going to hit the Astros as hard as the Cubs, but I think it will still be there and players won't perform as well as they did last year.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to come out gun swinging. But I'm expecting the World Series or bust.
Combine two things.
So exactly.
Swinging it around.
Yep.
So one of the reasons the Astros are so good is their pitching rotation.
Yes.
And we were going to say that we're going to discuss, there it is right there, the best rotation in baseball, and I do not believe it is the Astros.
Really?
And I'm not. I am picking the Cubs. I do believe is the best rotation.
Shocker,
but
guys.
Watch it, kid. Man, I've been liking those fingers. I watched the show last week and I did this to Christian. It was horrible. But I mean, I don't know if you can find a better rotation than John Lester, Kyle Hendricks, Darvish. Our big sign this offseason is our third starter. Jose Quintana, who would be a number 1 starter on any other team, is number 4. And then Tyler Chatwood, he is the player the pitcher I'm most excited about for the Cubs this year. He was basically terrible at Coors Field, but that's because of Coors Field and the altitude. But he was one of the best pitchers in baseball away from Coors Field. He had an ERA of 3.49. At home, it was 6.01. In 7 1/3 more innings pitched away, he has less earned runs. Home batting average was 302. His away batting average was 200. He's a different pitcher at home and away. He changes his pitching style when he was at Coors, but now he doesn't have to go to Coors except maybe once this year. And he was saying that at Coors he had to lose his breaking pitches. His breaking pitches weren't as good. He had to pitch differently, which led to batters squaring the ball up more because his pitches were more straight because of the altitude. And that's why I think when you have that guy at 5, that means you're the best rotation.
Yeah, well, I may surprise you with mine actually, because I think right now the best rotation is the Astros. But at the end of the season,
he's going to say Braves.
White Sox. The
Really?
White Sox will have the best rotation by the end of the season. And going further, Carson Fulmer from Vandy will win the Cy Young.
This year?
This year. He's winning it this year.
You're just shooting high today, aren't you?
And I'm gonna get it. Carson Fulmer has improved so much since he was at Vanderbilt.
I mean, I saw a spring training game where the Cubs faced him, and he got rocked.
Yeah, early struggles leads to the April showers may flowers.
So that applies to Fulmer, but that doesn't apply to Ohtani, who has pitched less than Fulmer.
I'm an eye test guy.
Okay.
And like I said, I just see something. I see something in Fulmer.
I like Fulmer. I really do.
And I mean, James Shield is no schmuck at all. He is a legitimate pitcher. And if the Sox don't tank this year like they did last year, I think there's going to be something with this rotation, something historic.
Well, let me surprise both of you.
Are you going to say the Braves?
Absolutely not. I actually went with the Cleveland Indians.
Okay.
You guys both know that I'm more of a fan to the baseball world. I chose Cleveland because I thought it was amazing that last season in 2017 they broke their own record with the amount of strikeouts per that season with 1,066. Now, that's small, however, that's a lot that they can build on. They kept most of their players. They had Corey Kluber. I'm so awful with names, so please bear with me. Carlos Carrasco.
Yep.
Sorry, thank
You'll
you.
get it.
Trevor Bauer, Josh Tomlin, and Denny Salazar. 3 of those players are from last season.
Yeah.
And they're coming back. So I'm expecting the Cleveland Indians to do even better and break this record again. Being the best rotation in baseball, I think they're going to be close. I don't know if they're going to be number 1. However, I see promise with the Cleveland Indians this season.
I did not expect the AL Central to get so much love today. Yeah. I love it, though.
Did y'all write out 1 through 5 for pitching rotations? Because I did. I don't know if y'all did or not.
I have a pretty good idea in my head. So.
I mean, I have Cubs, Astros, Nationals, and I have the Nationals just because of Scherzer, Strasburg. You have 2 aces among aces, and after that, it doesn't matter what you have.
Yep.
But they still have solid pitchers in Gio Gonzalez, Tanner Roark, and A.J. Cole. Then I have the Dodgers, Kershaw, best pitcher on the planet.
Hard to beat him.
Wood is their number 2, Alex Wood. He was great in 2017. He was the 9th in Cy Young voting, but he needs to prove that it's sustainable.
Yes.
His WHIP and his ERA have dropped the past 3 years, but he's still somewhat unproven because he's been getting better, but still he's still in that adjustment period. Then I have the Indians at 5 because, as you said from the eye test, I just don't necessarily believe in the Indians' rotation.
Yeah, they haven't proved it yet. So
yeah,
I think for me, if I was I did not make a full list of best rotations from 1 to 5. I did just kind of list that one. But I will say I do believe in the Braves. Julio Teheran.
Shocker.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. Julio Teheran, Mike Foltynewicz, Sean Newcomb, and I think they're still they're battling for the other 2 positions, and that's between Gahara and I think like 5 other guys. I think there's like 5 other ones down in spring training. I think the Braves are going to be looking good this year with their pitching. I think the Braves have the number 1 pitching in the farm league. I would even go to say they have the best teams in farm leagues.
Yeah, a lot of people think that they're at least in the top 3.
I would say that. However, we have a problem with just getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Like after like 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So I think if we can keep these players, if we can keep them for a year or 2, we could be a very, very dominant team. But that's up in the air.
Yeah, they're on the upswing of the tank, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, Boston deserves some love with
Boston
that
does, yeah.
Chris Sale, David Price 1-2 punch. So
Okay, I pulled up James Shields' stats, and with what did you call him? A solid pitcher?
I did.
He went 5-7 with a 5.23 earned run average.
Yes.
And a WHIP of 1.444.
You're going to hear, folks, this is the year for White Sox.
This is the year that Big Game James
White
turns
Sox.
it around.
Yes.
Big Game James.
Yeah, that's his name. Okay. With a new somebody on the lineup, we decided to get to know him a little better. Mr. Eastland, we are going to talk to you about your baseball background after the break. So join us after this.
0-1, hit high and deep. Back of the end zone. Brown got it. Moore drives inside, put it up. This one swung and missed it.
Now Smith again, block point Tech.
Nice turnaround by Johnson. Near post. Kick in.
Any place, anytime. Find it here. The OBC Digital Network.
How will you lead to a better future? Will you lead through life-changing innovations? Or will your leadership shine through the quality of your work? Success is defined by the individual. So it's time to think about the person you want to be and where you will learn to lead through excellence. It's time to become a governor at Austin Peay.
Welcome back to the lineup. We have Noah with his first time on the show, so I decided we would try to get to know him a little bit. First, tell us your general background with baseball.
Yeah, I have a lot of family in the baseball world. My cousin coaches at Rossview. I have a cousin that coached high school at Springfield, coached middle school at Springfield. I always helped them with the game. I played myself, and I mean, going along with y'all said, your biggest memory of baseball, I mean, it has to be a family experience for me. It was me and my brother playing on a Little League team, and we were playing my other two cousins on the other Little League team. I had a cousin that was the ump for that game.
How many cousins do you have?
I got lots of them, Tennessee. Baseball's a family thing for me. It's more than the numbers, it's more than the stats. It's this right here, as cheesy as it may sound. Yeah.
I mean, my mom wasn't interested in baseball the entire time I played, and then the Cubs make the World Series. I mean, make the playoffs in the World Series, and she gets completely interested in it. And now she's going to be like, well, what the heck was that? While we're watching the game, and she'll get more mad than we do at the game.
So the best thing is when my mom, who is not a baseball fan, but becomes a baseball fan when the Braves are on TV. And she never turns it on. It's always me. It's like, the game's on. She's like, oh, the Braves. And I'm like, yep.
No, my mother is not like that. It's the Bachelorette that's on all the time. But I do have to go to my grandmother's house to watch baseball because she always.
Where did this interview go?
I don't know yet.
Where did this go?
I'm assuming I get a rose at the end of this. So.
Yes, you do. You do.
Wonderful.
Okay. The big main question, because of the theme of the show, well, I mean, not the theme of the show, but the thesis of the show, I guess. How do you feel about Manfred?
Oh, gosh.
I do not hate the man as much as you two.
I don't hate him.
Whoa!
Okay.
I don't want to get into boxing matches with Manfred, okay?
I never said I did. He suggested that.
Yes.
I was fine with Christian saying that there was a debate, in which I would just say, get out.
Yeah, you two are, dried up old NL guys, and I'm a new AL guy.
You were in the National League until 4 years ago.
Exactly. I embraced change, like my team who wins World Series. But
mine did it before yours. So
yeah. Mine is doing it now. But I really enjoyed being on the show today, and if you want me back next week, all you've got to do is text 4234 to Noah. Text Noah1 to 4134.
That's not a thing.
That's
not a thing. He's making stuff up. Okay, real quick. How do you feel about the pace of play changes?
I'm like I said, I'm open to change. I'm an AO guy. I'm open to change.
Do you believe the juice balls are real?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't trust
I showed you
Verlander.
that graph.
So, yes.
And you said, oh, man.
I love conspiracy theories, but I don't.
I mean, that wasn't a conspiracy theory. That was hard evidence.
We'll see.
Okay. I didn't show it on camera. So, okay.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for today. For Noah Eastland and Jeffrey Matthews, I'm Joshua Adams. Be sure to subscribe to the APSU.TV YouTube channel so that you never miss an episode of Jeff brightening the lives of those around him. We'll see you at the same time and the same channel next week on The Lineup.